torpedo bats. Oh, hit this picture here for me, Corey. Boy, people are losing their mind over the torpedo bats. It's cheating. It's bullshit. This is unfair. What are we going to do? Yada, yada, yada. Rabble, rabble, rabble. Let me start off before I explain what it is exactly. A lot of people still seem to be confused about the torpedo bats and why it's actually not cheating. The good news is we're talking about Major League Baseball very early on in the season. That's something that's very unique. You still got March Madness going on, still got NBA playoffs going on, NFL draft is coming up, and this is because, in my opinion, the only thing better than when stars do well in Major League Baseball, last year Shohei versus Judge was great, are scandals. Man, do we love a cheating scandal in Major League Baseball. I mean, this goes back over 100 years, back to the 1919 White Sox shoeless Joe Jackson. This goes back to PED arguments. This goes to trash cat bagging in the Astros, instant replay, who should be in the Hall of Fame, who shouldn't, yada, yada, yada. We love to argue in baseball, and this is one of the best new things to argue about is the damn torpedo bat. And I'll explain it this way. To me, it's a lot like blackjack. It's a lot like card counting in blackjack. Before we break down the science of the torpedo bat, just try to understand this logic. It's been a long frustration of mine, and it's not that even I can do it, but if people go to Vegas and they play blackjack and they follow their rules, not cheat, not like, try to get the dealer's card by using cameras or a friend or whatever, or sending signals. I mean, just able to count the cards and know when more aces and faces are coming down the pike there, that they are somehow able to kick them out for not following anything other than the rules that they were given and beating them at their own game. That is the torpedo bat. I mean, it is not within anything other than the rules written itself. It is a customized bat to each player where they put the sweet spot in different parts of the bat. And the Rule 3.02, the only thing about baseball bats says, all that has to be about the bat is that it has to be smooth, has to be a round stick, has to be not more than 2.61 inches in diameter, not more than 42 inches in length, and one solid piece of wood. Other than that, they did not say where you can put the fat part of the bat. They did not say you had to shape it a certain way, and they have followed every single rule with this. So let me, break it down, because this is what the torpedo bats are. In case you're confused or you don't, it's more than just the shape. What they're doing, it was invented by this smarty pants, this MIT professor named Aaron Lenny Lenhart, and they're taking the bats and they're adding the sweet spot indicative of the hitter. So every hitter has a different spot of the bat where they usually make the most contact most consistently. So they broke down film and they looked at them over the years for each hitter, and they're making these new bats where they're moving and adjusting the biggest part of the bat to where they most commonly hit the ball. I got a video breaking it down. If you don't mind popping this up for me, Corey, with a little bit of a diagram. Here's one of the inventors explaining the torpedo bat and exactly how it works. And again, it's just a customized bat, like a tailored suit.
This is Torpedo Bat. You might have seen it this weekend. Little it's been around for a while now. Last year we had some success with this bat in the playoffs with Giancarlo Stanton with the Yankees. The idea behind this is we don't want to hit the ball here, we want to hit it here. So a lot of these designs are based around more wood volume where the ball will hit the bat. Everybody believes inside the organization that there's some bad designs out there in bats, and they would rather have the wood here, not here, to hit the baseball. Right now it's starting to trend that it is panning out for a lot of guys. Some cool stuff going on in the bats. This is Torpedo Bat.
So that's all this is, man. This is evolution. They have taken the smarty pants, they put them together with analytics, and they put a customized bat together with the bat builders that builds tailored barrels and sweet spots to each individual hitter. So each individual hitter has their own individual torpedo bat. So before you go for your softball league or whatever and go order one, calm down, because it's not that simple. It's not just the shape of the bat. It's where they're putting the sweet spot for each person that is bringing such big returns. And I think that's been the big controversy, is because it's bringing very big returns. This was most likely, started really heavily, and it's funny because it's been around for a few years. Most people haven't talked about it, but those damn Yankees opening weekend, hit this video here for me, Corey, went insane with the torpedo bats, and that's what really kicked this thing off into another gear, because the first three games, New York Yankees were batting .333, but they had 35 RBIs and tied an MLB record with 15 home runs. To put that in perspective, the all-time record for a team for a season for total home runs is 307. They were on pace at that point for 810. instead of 307. And yes, that's only 3 games, but now it's been 7 games. They're still on pace for 532. Again, well above the record. And in that opening weekend, as you see, 9 of the 15 home runs came from players who were using a, quote, torpedo bat, whether it was Chisholm, Volpe, Wells, Bellinger, Goldschmidt. Aaron Judge, I mean, he could hit it out of there with a broom. He's hit 6 on his own. But everyone focused on the torpedo bats, and one of the big names that used it was Giancarlo Stanton. But what people don't know is that he's been using since last year. He actually used it last year in the postseason when he hit 7 home runs in just 14 postseason games. And then other players started using it. Ellie De La Cruz from the Reds, the first time he picked it up. He's a very talented guy, obviously. He hit 2 home runs, 7 RBIs in his first time using the torpedo bat. And so it's been ordered everywhere. I've heard Rushman from Baltimore, Swanson of the Cubs is using it, Jeffers of the Twins, Lindor Mets, Muncy and Hernandez of the Dodgers have ordered them. But it's become such a wave and such a Macarena kind of thing that apparently all 30 teams are on back order. Everybody wants a torpedo bat. Everybody needs a torpedo bat. Torpedo bats. You know, baseball is a superstitious monkey see, monkey do sport, and so they're all very into this idea. But I mean, the results are in early that, yeah, if you tailor the bat to the certain hitter and give them the sweet spot that they like the most, it does seem to prove results, man. These dudes are cranking balls left and right. Again, the team record all time is 307. They're still on pace for 532. Before that, it was always close. Like, it'd be like, oh, this team at 304, this team at 305. They're on pace for 532. They are crushing balls left and right. And yes, it does seem to be very, tied into the torpedo bat. And so obviously it's causing a lot of people wanting them and telling them. But the other thing that people want to get into, and this is the part I have to keep pushing back on, is that you keep trying to tell me it's cheating. And I just can't go with you on that. Hit the picture here for me, Corey. This isn't like baseball's long tradition of history of cheating with other situations. Is it wrong to torpedo, or what's your problem with the torpedo?
What's your problem? What's your problem?
I don't have one. I think they evolved and figured it out. Again, I compare it to blackjack. This is not like doctoring a ball. This is not like PED use. This is not like the Astros using the television cameras to steal signs and bang a trash can. This is not even like corking the bat, which is, specifically against the rules. They are doing nothing other than, you gave us a rule book, I looked at it, and my smart friends figured out how to give us a better advantage, and we're evolving with this, and we're winning with this. In the same way, again, if a guy was at the casino, and he's like, dude, I just know when more aces and faces are coming, I want to bet more money when they're there. I have no idea why you have the right to kick me out, or why anyone thinks they have the right to stop people from constructing more torpedo bats. I mean, all the arguments I've heard have an answer. People saying it's an unfair advantage because they get to hit farther and yada, yada, yada. Well, then everyone use a torpedo bat, and then they'll come back and say, well, no, but that diminishes other parts of the game, like pitching, base hitting, stealing. First of all, it's been going that way for a while. And second of all, Major League Baseball behind closed doors is even being, it's getting out. Dude, they love when they hit home runs. This is nothing better for a team or a organization and just a sport that needs television ratings. We always love it. Chicks dig the long ball. Go look at that old commercial. It's more difficult to control, and that's going to be under a hitter's, prerogative, I guess would be the word, as far as because it does have a condensed heavier weight in certain spots. They're saying that, you can't check swing as much. Some people are actually trying to blame Giancarlo Stanton's, because he's been using it for a year now, elbow injuries on the added weight and not being able to check it as much. But again, that's the beholder's issue. If they want to use it, they can use it. And the last one I heard was that, it can cause an arms race. Well, you all make billions of dollars. I don't want to hear shit. Some people make more than others, but you can pay some there's plenty of smart college kids sitting around on their ass right now that if you need analytical help, it would be more than happy to help you, I'm sure, at a very reasonable price. My only issue with this entire thing is that it might create another asterisk generation. And I'm so done with baseball and asterisks, and most importantly, when it comes to home run records, I am so done with asterisk generation. Hit the picture here for me, Corey. This is the only problem I have that is a slippery slope, because technically every damn home run record is already connected to an asterisk, and if there's a torpedo bat asterisk, it's only going to add to this bullshit. I mean, pick one. Just pick any of them. Aaron Judge, oh, he's not the real home run king because, Bonds technically hit 73, McGuire hit 70, Sosa hit 66, he only hit 62. But then the same people will go, well, yeah, but they have an asterisk to their records too because they all obviously cheated with PEDs and like Olympic records. Even if they set them, we can't really count them. So then we got to go all the way back to Roger Maris in 1961. Well, that one was one of the original asterisks because they said, oh, he might have beat Babe Ruth 61-60, but he only had, he got to play 8 more games than Babe Ruth, so that's not fair. And somehow Babe Ruth got away with no asterisk, and as Daniel Tosh pointed out a long time ago, why doesn't he have to have one? He got to play with only white people. He got to play in a segregated league. As CC put it, as Daniel put it himself, how many home runs do you think Babe would hit if CC was throwing him 92-mile-per-hour sliders when they could have? I mean, so everyone technically has a damn asterisk. Now, if you had a torpedo bat, it only adds more to this, conjecture and whining and bitching. But in the end, I do think that is still what kind of makes baseball baseball. I think it's great for the sport that we're talking about it. The rule changes are going to have to wait till the end of the year, short of like a commissioner coming down from on high and like making some, very odd ruling, which has never really happened before in baseball. It's probably going to take at least a year or two. And I still condone, or I still at least make the point of, I don't think it's a big deal as far as they did not break the rules. It just took a long time to get here, but now that they're here, a lot of y'all are complaining. I don't get why you're complaining. They followed everything you were supposed to do and are just finding ways to give advantageous situations to their own hitters. I don't see a problem, so I want to move on. All right.